All right, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Live Coding with Rabbitwerks JavaScript. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you in the chat, bud. Been a while. Thanks. I like it too. Looks kind of neat. It's the outline. Yeah. So pretty much this week we're picking up where we left off with the React refresher stuff. Let's see. Last week. Let's see. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. Last week we made our flex container items and stuff a little bit more dynamic using let's see, is this the right branch? Flex controller, here we go. Using some prop functions. Pretty cool. Let me spin up the server really quick and then or the app, and then we can get started from there. I want to first address the excuse me. I'm going to first address the navbar and make that dynamic, or not dynamic, but based on like an object of properties, and then render that out versus having everything hard coded. So that'll probably be the first step for the night. And then I need to build out the sidebar a little bit more and add an item amounter, and that'll be cool. And then depending on where our time is sitting at, we might start implementing some very rudimentary Redux stuff at this point, but we'll see what happens. So let me spin this up and we'll go from there. Hope everyone's having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on when you're watching this. Come on, React, you can do it. Alright, cool. So if we take a look at this, this is basically the project that we have so far. And what we did last time was basically just being able to change the amount of flex that each item has using these buttons as such, all the way up to 10 and whatnot, so it's kind of neat. Please. Okay, so what I want to do is look at this nav bar thing and make it a little bit more appealing, because right now it just kind of looks, I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look good either, so cool. So let's do that, and so let me open up a new terminal here so we can make a new branch. Let's see, git check out holy crap, I need to switch to the right branch. I always forget about doing that. Or not branch, but the right directory. There we go. Alright, so git check out -b 04 rfud -4, and we'll do sidebar. Cool. Alright, so now that we're in this, git checkout. Cool. Alright, so now that we're in there, we can go into the navbar and screw around with that a little bit. So what I'm thinking is that the navbar is going to be a child component. So if we look at the app again, what I'm thinking is that we'll have so this whole panel is going to be a sidebar component, and then we'll have like our nav, and then I'm going to have like the item amounter right here or whatever. So we'll do that. So that way, that means we're going to have to nest this whole navbar inside of a sidebar component. So let's start by doing that. Well, actually, before we do that, let's fix the nav so we can make that render out based on an object. Okay, so go to navbar main. Up again. So right now, yeah, everything is hard coded, but we don't want to do that. We want to render these out dynamic, well, based on an object. Essentially, that would be like dynamic if we had that stored in like Redux or something like that. I don't know. So let's start by making a new object, const nav links. That works, I don't care. Equals an object. Okay, and then inside of here, or wait, I think I'm gonna put it, actually I need to put it into an array, an array of objects. Yeah, okay, so inside of there, we'll open up our first thingy-bob. We're going to say text, and that's going to be equal to home. And then we'll also have our target location. So target location is going to be equal to, copy and paste this for the sake of simplicity. Do I plan on having a Telegram group? No, not that I know of. Why? Why is Telegram blowing up all of a sudden? Yeah, so we can actually just duplicate this 3 times. Actually, I want to actually add a legit link to this, so we'll actually add a GitHub as well. Okay, so we'll do playground for this one. Yeah, no, I don't really use Telegram. I did it. I was using it for a while because one of my exes was like, "Use this because it's secure," and I was just like, actually, Telegram's kind of cool because it does send videos and images and stuff mainly uncompressed. Like a lot of the times when you send videos and stuff like that through like SMS, obviously, or like any type of like chat message system that supports sending multimedia, it usually compresses the hell out of it and it ruins the quality. Telegram, not so much. So, which is cool because you can send like, you know, decent videos without having to look at like something that was shot on a phone from 10 years ago. So alright, so this one's going to be support, and then this one is going to be GitHub. So I can go like this and say github.com/rabbitwerks. Now, instead of doing this navbar thing, alright, so what I want to do is, I need to render this out beforehand and then pass it in as a variable. Okay, so let's see. Const menu items. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. So what I gotta do is map it. So navlinks dot map, and then don't really need anything. We'll just say item. And then we will render out I need to check. I can't remember. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. nav item, and we need to render that with the text prop and the target location. So text equals text, right? I don't have to do nav. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Or wait, nav item dot text. Yeah, nav item dot text, and then the next one will be target location, and that's going to be equal to nav item dot target location. All right, cool. So now what I can do, yelling at me for. Identifier expected. What am I missing? Oh, that's right, because I need to close the JSX. Oh, it's so fun. Okay, cool. Now that that's done, we can actually delete all this stuff, and just throw in our nav menu items variable or whatever, and it should load up all together now. So take a look. Looks like there's no errors, and if we look at the app, cool, they're all there. Nice, nice. Neat. Okay, so now what I want to do really quick is I need to add a header to this. So what I need to do is actually wrap this in a div, not directives. I need to wrap this in a div, please. Thank you so much. Okay, because just like Vue, React doesn't like multi-component or multiple element root. It only wants one root element, essentially. So that's why I have to wrap it in there, and I'll just put an H3 here that says navigation. Now, granted, we don't have pages for like the actual playground or home or anything like that. Everything is just, we're just sitting at disk right now because we don't have a router. But this is just a demonstration. The one thing that will work is the GitHub link, though. We don't have a router or anything like that, so everything is just running off of the main component, main app or whatever. Cool. So let's take a look one more time and see. We got our navigation there, and it doesn't look like it's very centered. I wonder what's going on there. I think I need to give this more space, actually. Yeah. So let's see. Right, that's the Navbar. That's fine. What I want to do is actually just increase the size. I think it was where is it at? I freaking, one of the things that really irritates me with like doing Node.js and like React and stuff like that is all the index.js is. It's so confusing. Like I get that like, okay, like it's on an automatic import, blah blah blah. You don't have to specify which file name it is, but is it really that like that much more helpful to be confused constantly than to just like specify which file you need? Like I get it says it right there, but it's just like, I don't know. What the heck is this now? App bar main. We need to put this navbar in an actual sidebar, so well, thanks for the follow, Andrew. Appreciate it. Excuse me. Okay, so let's do that really quick. We can collapse that. In the components folder, I'm gonna make a new folder called sidebar. And then sidebar, not sidebar. Sidebar. Alright, cool. And then what I want to do is actually just, I'm going to move this entire folder in there. And yes, I want to move, and it should update. Sidebar. That happened to me last time when I tried to move it. It was like not doing it, and I had to restart Visual Studio. Let's try it again. Oh yeah, make sure to check out the rabbitwerks Code Beats playlist on Spotify if you want to listen to some lo-fi stuff while you program. We used to play it in the background, but all of my streams kept getting the content ID'd, so I had to quit that. Unfortunately. What am I doing? There we go. But yeah, make sure to check that out. Link is in the description of the YouTube video below. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. See, now it let me do it, but before it was just like not doing it. And it does automatically update it. That's cool. We'll actually take it out of the app.js because this is going to go inside of the actual sidebar. So let's actually write that folder really quick. So inside of here, new file called sidebar dot, no, we have to do index.js because that's what everybody likes. I guess we could do sidebar.js and just say screw the convention, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so first off, start by importing React, rectangle, React from React. Cool. And then we don't need any, we won't need any styling at the yet until we have it built out. So we do need to import our navbar though. So import navbar main. I can type from navbar slash navbar main. Cool. All right, now let's build our component. So we'll say function sidebar. Jeez Louise. Oh, I actually don't need to extend React component. Function sidebar. And then underneath here we can export it. I mean, we could do it inline, but just it looks, I like it this way, it looks cleaner. Cool. What am I missing? Let's see, flex container, nothing. Okay. Cool. All right, so inside of here we want to import our we need to put things in a div because we'll have two components in here at least. So we'll say div dot, or of course can't do emit, div class name equals sidebar main, I guess. We'll just say sidebar. We don't need to be that specific. Right. So sidebar, and then we want to put flexbox on it and do flex direction column. Cool. And we can close that out. And inside of here, we can add our navbar main. Really hate the autocomplete in this. This is just not very enjoyable. Navbar main. Cool. Now we have that. If we bring our sidebar into our app now isn't going to load properly. So instead of having navbar, let's see. Cool. npm start. Now it's going to throw an error because navbar isn't defined in this component, but so we need to import our sidebar now. So import sidebar from components sidebar. And then we can actually just swap this out for sidebar. And cool. What's going on now? 3 of sidebar. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I need to return that. I didn't return it. Okay. We need to return. Wrap it in parentheses and say return. We can enter that down. There we go. And our menu is in there. Cool. So now what we can do is give our sidebar a little bit of styling so we can get that a little bit wider so everything fits in there nice and snugly. So we'll say const styles equals an object, and then inside of here we'll say sidebar. That's all we really need. We'll just say width is equal to 10 rem, just to see where that gets us, and if we need to change it we can after that. And then let's add this to our div. So we'll say style equals styles.sidebar. So that's pushed over a lot still. This is where we're at. Obviously I forgot you can't see my second screen. Go away. I don't want to look at your thing. Okay, so sidebar. Okay, so this is being pushed over with margin. I think it's actually right here. So let's just delete this and see what happens. Delete the styles, otherwise it's going to throw an error. And let's take a look at the app. No, it's, I mean, it's even now, but oops. Try, where is it? Sidebar. Let's try like 14 rem and see what that gives us. It just makes it wider. Okay, so we got to get rid of this padding or this margin on the outside. That's on the, or it's padding. That's on the app. Yeah. Is it padding though? I don't understand. Okay, let's see. Oh, geez. 1 second. Okay, so let's figure out where this padding is coming from. So let's look at app.js, text.css, margin. 0. I don't know why it's giving padding on there. Padding. Where's this coming from? .app. What the hell? App.css. Where's that coming from? Oh, it's in the assets. Oh, I see. Okay. But that doesn't have any padding on it. What the heck? Main CSS? App. Oh, right here. Okay. Why do they have... God. Great boilerplate code. Facebook. Great boilerplate code. Jesus Christ. Let's just have our HTML or CSS classes in multiple areas. That's really makes a lot of sense. Anyways, okay, whatever. We figured that out. So now that's butt smack dab in the middle of that. Now let's give this whole thing some our actual nav bar some padding so it pushes or some margin. So let's see. Go away, go away. Let's put everything in a separate file because, hold on, look at my life. I'm alive like you. Oh man, take a look. This is a very uneventful stream. Okay, fuck that. Let's see. So, let's see. Sidebar, let's give it, we don't need to have it that big. We can say 10. And let's give it some margin. Out of that, we'll do 0 and 1 rem. Wait, rem. Alright, let's see what that gives us. Cool. Everything is GitHub. Brings me to GitHub. Neat. Alright. Cool. I just want to add a little bit of padding to the nav bar really quick, or the nav items, because that's kind of bothering me. Adding bottom, and we'll just say like 0.5 rem. Yeah, okay, cool. That kind of spaces it all a little bit nicer. Neat. Alright, so we got that, and those are loading dynamically, which is cool. So now let's go to our item addifier, and what I can do actually is open up a new terminal and commit this to the branch that we're on and start a new branch. Oh, actually, well, might as well commit this code anyway. So git commit or git add all git commit -m side doing that sidebar outline built navbar free inside starting item amount. Now this isn't gonna work until we implement Redux, because we can't like prop drill. We can't prop drill functions that affect the parent component like we would like we were doing for like this, for instance, or not this one. Where is it? Flex item group. So we have state. We're prop drilling that, or we're sending those in as props. We're passing in functions as props, but we can't prop drill that, because if we pass this down to 2 levels down, it's going to try and target this dot state on the parent component, which would not be the right one. We would need to go one more up, and I don't know if we can do that without making it super convoluted. So we'll set it up for now, and then we'll see if we can get Redux up and running, but it's kind of got a lot of boilerplate setup, so we might just do it might just hold off for an entire stream for like next week, and then do some other stuff for this evening, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna use the restroom really quick. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so let's build out this item amounter thingy, and we could actually probably just style buttons tonight, maybe. But we can look through like a basic store example. It just takes a while to set up Redux, and I don't know if I have enough time to go through that entire process in this stream. We'll see. Let's see. Okay, so let's. We can close this out. We don't need that open. We don't need this open. We don't need the nav bar open or the nav items open. Shoot. Hoping I can hang on to that file. It's just in a different branch, but whatever. Okay, cool. So now we need to create a new component inside of our sidebar. It's going to be called the item amounter. Or you could call it the amountifier. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun. Inspector Gadget. Okay. Inside of here, we can just create a new file, call it none other than the typical index.js. Okay. First thing we want to do, import React. Probably make a code, get some React code. I wonder if I have any React code snippets installed right now. I don't think so. Definitely not. Oh yeah, simple React snippets. Oh neat. Oh yeah, we should be probably validating the prop types, but I haven't gotten any errors for it, which is interesting because remember last time I was working with React, if I didn't validate a prop type, it was like, what the heck are you doing? So I don't know. Class component with constructor, stateless functional component, function component did mount, render prop, higher order component, set state, functional set state, render. Cool. Give it a shot. Okay, so let's just say IMR. Look at that, it worked. Sweet. What about just a regular component, class component, stateless functional component, import React, here component. Was the stateless functional component the same as what I'm doing here? I wonder. Let's try it. Okay, so let's just do const new rock. Going on, nerdy dev? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Const, we want this to be the item. I guess accumulator would probably be a better word, but I like amounter because it sounds more scrubby. We don't have anything in there, so, well, yeah, no, because what we will be doing is importing our state from Redux when we get that set up, so we can just leave that as it is for now. We don't have any props to pass in or whatever, so. Wanna that in. And then, okay, so inside of here, it's going to return a couple of buttons. So we'll put it in a div. Alright, inside of this div, we can put a button, and that's going to say add Then we can put another button on there that says move item. Cool. And I think that's actually going to display inline. So what we could just say is give this div a class name, or wait, no, not class name. We need to give it styles because we're going to just import. Just do a styles block really quick. Const styles equals oh my god, the greatest variable name ever. Okay. Geez Louise. Display is going to be block. No, not dispatch. Display is going to be set to block. Because I want those buttons to sit on their own lines. And then so we'll just import those styles really quick. So style equals styles.iteMamounter. Cool. Not capitalized. Okay, so let's bring this into the sidebar now and see what happens. So we go import item mounter from item mounter. Cool. And then we can just drop this in underneath the navbar main. So we'll say item mounter just like that. Close it out. There we go. Cool. All right, let's take a look and see what we got. Okay, we have that there. That works. Well, I mean, it actually doesn't work. That's not what I... We need to set these buttons as display. I'm sorry, not the actual div. A button. But I do want to have styles for that too. So actually, what I will do is just copy this out. And I want to say actually margin. I want to look at really quick to see where the headline is sitting. Oh. Up. Just let me do my thing. Okay. Actually, I'm going to push that down a little bit too. So maybe we'd just do margin on these components, but because I don't know. Well, I guess not really, because when we pull it down, then it doesn't really. I think it's fine. Because these stretch to 80% or whatever it's set to, 80% of the screen, or 60. I don't know. I can't remember. These actually can be less wide because you can see that this is actually getting pushed off the screen now, which is fine for this for the time being. But as soon as we start adding more flex items than just that, it's gonna squish down, or it's gonna roll off screen. Is what I meant to say. So let's see. Okay, so. Yeah, we'll just give this some margin. So we'll say margin top is going to be set to 2 rem just to give it some space. We also want to add in a header on this. So H3, not HR. H3 is going to say item mounter, like that. Cool. And then these need the style of block. So do button, and then that can be set to display block. And then we just add that to the button. The buttons, so style equals styles.button, not that, btn, and then I'm just gonna copy that because we want the same style on the other button as well. Cool. Alright, so let's see what that gives us. So open up the app. Alright, that's kind of getting there, I guess. I wonder if I give it a flex box. Well, what did I do on my other one? I wonder, I think I just actually just gave it a break in there, to be honest. But delete these styles. I think that'll actually keep them center as well. Let's see. We just have that break in there. It'll put it on the new line. Kind of rudimentary, but who cares? All right, cool. That works. Works for me. It should work for you. All right, we need to shorten this up. And what is this width at? Oops. Doesn't have a width. We know that the navigation bar is 12 rem, so we could do like 12 or 100 view height or view width minus 12 rem. But this should have some margin on the, or padding on this, or yeah, margin on the side of it. Margin top. Oh no, there's no margin. Wait. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Sidebar. Oh, there's no margin. So let's do that. Let's put some margin on the right of it. 1 rem, just to match up right there with the nav bar spacing. YouTube cracks me the heck up. I just don't understand how they can have such a terrible service. I just don't get it. I guess I should be like Jake Paul selling like, hey guys, today we're gonna be doing something so crazy. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Nobody has ever done anything this crazy before. Oh my god, kids, go buy and buy my merch. And then YouTube sits there and talks about COPPA and stuff and like kids protection, yet people like the Paul brothers and all them are just running around basically just manipulating kids into giving them all their parents' money in the name of being cool and a hype beast. Anyways, no more YouTube drama. It's pretty pathetic, to be honest. The amount that of bending backwards and like habitual like hypocrisy that YouTube pulls is just, it's on the level of Donald Trump. Anyways, okay, that's enough. Okay, so let's add some padding to that really quick, and then we can maybe get this a little bit more nicely looking spaced out. So we need to open up the flex container. Inside of here, I'm going to add a new class. As that in quotes, it doesn't need to be in quotes. You fool, Sharpie. I mean, rabbit. You fool. Just kidding. Okay. and actually this what was it? This item amounter in the stateless functional component worked really well. I like that. I mean, it's the same thing as what we're doing here. It's just using newer syntax. Essentially, it's using the function declaration. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't keep them straight. All right. So margin right is going to be set at 1 rem. Cool. Oop. Cool. And let's see what that gives us now. There we go. Everything's looking nice and neat and tidy. What do we got an error on? Go away, console update, please. Each child in the list. Oh, okay. Should have a unique key. So I need to. This is telling me that the navbar is actually throwing in a warning or whatever because it doesn't have individual keys for each item that is rendering out with the map. So let's do that really quick. You can see right here, let's just have the key. This is for the flex item group. Obviously, you can see there's a key prop, and it's being passed in some sort of unique value to kind of differentiate. So React knows, just like Vue, so React knows which item to go to right away instead of having to parse through the entire thing. Makes it more proficient, or efficient, proficient, whatever, same difference. Alright, so navbar main is going to need a key. So we'll just say, let's actually open this up a little bit just so it looks a little nicer. And we'll give it a key equals. I pull the index out of here too. I wrap it in a arrow function. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Just like that's nice. I like that. All right, so we'll just pass the index in here because that's all we need to have a a unique identifier. So let's see. Doesn't look like there's any errors being thrown at the moment or any warnings being thrown, but if we take a look, brush. DevTools failed to parse source map. Their file is not found. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Okay, so that works. So basically, the TLDR for this item amounter is going to be like we're going to be able to. We'll start out with like 2 flex items, right? And we'll be able to add up to like 10, and then we'll be able to remove down to 1. But the reason why we can't do this is because it's a nested component right now. We don't have any state. We can't. Like I explained earlier about the functional components and everything, or the functional props. So we need to implement Redux in order for this to work, and I don't know. It's kind of a pain. I'm not a big fan of Redux. I really prefer Vue, to be quite honest. Or I'm sorry, Vuex. But it is what it is. What are we gonna do? So let's see. What do we want to do with this? Got that. Decrease. I wonder if we could just like do. Start adding it, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Let's try it, I suppose. Okay, so Redux is confusing as all heck. I have the docs in the links to the docs in the description below. So you can definitely check that out. There's a good getting started tutorial. Load up right here. So what we need to do to get started is we need to first install Redux, and we need to create our basic store. So like I guess we can go through this example or whatever, but in relation to like what we're doing, it's basically a counter. Yeah, so there's a couple of different things. We need to install Redux. We also need to install the React Redux bindings because Redux isn't just like a React-based thing. You can actually use it with a lot of different stuff. So you have to install the bindings for it. And then more than likely we'll be using the Redux dev tools, but instead of installing it like that, we can actually just add a line of code to our Redux store, and that will enable the dev tools like that. So I don't know. Let's give it a shot, I suppose. I guess, you know what, before we do that, I think we'll hold off on that because it's getting late at this point. What I want to do, we'll do Redux next week for sure, and we'll start from that, from the ground up. I mean, I haven't implemented in the prototype of this. It's not really a code along, like basic, like specific project that we're doing. It is code along or whatever, but yeah, next week we'll definitely look at implementing Redux. But for now, I want to screw around with some CSS and see if I can't figure it out a little bit for like just some basic like hovering on the nav and see if we can get that figured out. And I mean, it's probably just going to be as simple as like just instead of using CSS and JS, just using CSS and just importing it. So like navbar item, for instance, if we pull that file up, wonder how you would do it in React, CSS and JS. Let's see, CSS hover in CSS and JS. React. Oops, sorry. Really? You can't just do like... Okay. Apparently this is a lot more difficult than you would think, according to the React docs and Stack Overflow. I figured you'd just be able to do like... Okay, let's see. New file. So we'll just say like nav.nav item hover color is green. Just something crazy. Okay, we can actually adjust that. Can I change it? Why won't you let me color change the color? There we go. Alright, we'll do 1B8888. 8888, yeah, okay. And with that, let's see. So if we bring this into our index.js, can we do import? That, can we just call that and be like nav item styles like that? Does that work? broke the styling. Oh, I don't have the let's just change it to an A tag. No, it just sets it as that color. You can't use the pseudo. Oh wait, I didn't do the hover. I'm sorry, hover. There we go. Well, that works. I don't understand why you just have to style it. Like, I mean, the hover does work. I don't understand why people are freaking out about this. A lot of people complaining on this. Whatever. Okay, so that's just to do it like in line or whatever. I mean, obviously this needs some actual styling to it, like we had before. But whatever. Actually, I'm just gonna delete that because I don't know. I think that's gonna do it for this stream at this point. There's nobody really here to this evening, unfortunately. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But oh well. Yeah, so we got this done, got some more examples done. Next week we'll be coming in and actually diving into Redux and putting it into practice. So before we get going though, excuse me, I'm gonna add everything. Git commit -m added item mounter and fixed display issues. Cool. Git push -u origin sidebar. Cool. So when that's finished, so what I'll do now is we're just gonna take a look at the proto that I got going on right now. So this is with Redux integrated into the platform. And all right, let's take a look. Cool. So we got this, and we start out with 2 flex items, and it's basically you can add them up to 10 or whatever, and then you can remove them. So that's basically what we're gonna be getting to at this point, or next stream or whatever. Be able to add those dynamically. Like I said, we can't just do that by passing a prop function down to this component because it's a nested component inside of a child component inside of a parent component that we need, which won't work. We need to implement Redux. So it'll be pretty cool, and then all of them work still. So you know, pretty neat. Anyways, cool. That's gonna do it for this stream. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Been doing a lot of job interviewing. Hopefully I'll land a development job here soon. You guys will be the first to know if I do, but you know, can't make any promises yet. It's a struggle. You need experience to get a job, but you need a job to get experience. That's the self-taught programmer's mantra. Bane of existence. Okay, guys. That's going to do it for this stream. My name is Sean. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Live Coding with Rabbitwerks JavaScript. Definitely check out the project on GitHub. The link is in the description below. Definitely check out Rabbitwerks Code Beats on Spotify if you're looking for some good lo-fi hip-hop stuff to groove to while you're writing code, studying, or doing anything. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. You can hit up the Rabbitwerks Discord if you want to get a hold of me for any questions. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. Other than that, you can check out the Twitter. I'm not really on there too much, but I'm trying to get some stuff on there. But you know how that goes. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Live Coding with Rabbitwerks JavaScript. And until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side. Stay awesome. Keep coding. And we'll see you then. Peace.